Do you want a tripod that can grow with your photography? Well then, I'd say don't get one with a leg brace. Now what do I mean by that? So a leg brace basically stops a tripod being able to splay out its legs, and the reason it does that is they're probably going to break if they do that. So this camera here, this tripod here, I can put it basically on a rock. So there's no stable platform, there's no flat surface I can put this down on. So one leg goes on the rock and two legs go into the water. So perfect. If I had a tripod that had a central brace like this, there's no way I'm doing that. There's simply no way, not safely anyway, without either it, the camera, the tripod, and you going into the drink. The other problem with these tripods is, particularly at the entry level. Now, I'm not saying that all brace tripods are bad, and it's down to a price point. But I'm telling you that if you spend $20 or $30 or $40, or it comes free in the kit bag, it'll work to a point once you know what it's doing. So the problem here is that it's all plastic. Even though it's aluminum, it's plastic. Everything is moving. There's nothing I can do to keep that thing really, really steady. Now, it is a tripod that I use, believe it or not, and it's for those airlines that want to charge you $5,000 to be able to put a suitcase up in the overhead locker, and they force you to bring something that only goes in under the seat in front. So this is very light. I know how to use it. I know what it can be done for. I don't have high expectations. It's a stable platform, and I just can't do very sexy things with it. I can't get close to the action. I can't move it to where I'm over the action, for example. Very hard to do with a tripod like this. So a tripod that doesn't have a central brace basically lets you splay out the legs almost to completely flat, so that you can go right down to the ground. And in this case, I'm not quite close to the ground as I could be, because I can take this central column here and I can tilt it up and tilt it out. And that happens simply. It's a separate thing to the tip, and I will be covering this later on in much greater detail. But basically, I can do this. So that lets me get my camera as close as I can to the action. And in fact, that's really what's going on here. While the brace itself is not a problem here, it's being able to get that column out over the handrail here. And without this, I wouldn't have been able to get that shot. Now, normally what I would do is I would have two legs down on the ground and one leg over the edge here, giving me that stable platform, and then using the central column where I can put it out. But basically, a central brace does not give you this ability, so I have that going for me in the first place. Now, the other thing you're doing when you get into that level where you're not getting a camera with a brace or a tripod with a brace is you're getting yourself into a system where you are choosing the head itself. So basically, you buy the tripod legs, and then you have a tripod head which screws on as you wish. So you're buying yourself into a system. And that system then is also usually a quick release head, to where you can have on the bottom of the camera, you have a plate, and instead of having to screw into the tripod every single time, I basically can just go here, cluck that in, and lock it down. Take it off again, go to a different tripod head of the same kind, and do the same. Now, I said of the same kind, but in actual fact what I did here, this is a different manufacturer to this, but I've got the system that allows me to use the same quick release plate on the bottom of the camera. That will go onto that. So you'll see that's where theirs would have been, which would have been a different plate. But I basically have a couple of tripods and I have a number of cameras, and I don't want to be carrying different plates for that. So very cheap on eBay. I just can get those ones to suit, and it means I can use the one plate, multiple cameras, multiple tripods, no problem at all. So you want a tripod that can grow with your photography? As you can see, maybe don't get one with the leg brace. As always, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments.